So hello everyone, my name is Denny, and of course I will tell you about my experience with Exellys as well. First of all, I made up a little agenda of what I'm going to discuss. So yeah, who am I, where and why Exellys, my application at Exellys, the matching procedure, what my experience was with that, my integration at the client, and my thoughts in the future, of course. So first of all, who am I? Yeah, of course, I'm Denny. I studied at the Plantain Hogeschool. I did a bachelor's in electronics and ICT. Then afterwards, I went to Exellys, which then put me at the client of Ferranti. Ferranti is an energy and utility sector client, which has like the MICOM's products. So think electricity, think gas, water, things like that. And I'm part of that, but more on that a bit later. It's just a very quick overview. Where and why Exellys? So actually my very first meeting with Exellys was at the app itself. So we had like a big presentation with Exellys, and afterwards you could give your contact information and give some feedbacks for Exellys and the presentation they gave. And a few months later, I got a call from one of the recruiters of Exellys, and they asked if I wanted to have a talk, a conversation. So I went to their office in Mechelen. Right here, you see the picture of the best place in the office of Mechelen, which is the bar, of course. My first interview was actually on the 5th of February, 2019. I found the date in one of my old mails. At the same time, I was actually still preparing to go on Erasmus, while we still could go on Erasmus in that time. So my thoughts before I was actually graduating were more like, what do I want to do with my studies? I wasn't really sure yet. There were a lot of ways that I could go, since electronics ICT is quite broad and a lot of things are taught there. And I wasn't really sure about consultancy yet either, like what is consultancy exactly? So yeah, I wasn't really sure what that was yet. And then at the talk with Exellys, they explained their model, and I really liked the model of Exellys. It's like a combination between working, but also further developing your skills. And as I was still kind of thinking like, should I do some further study? Should I go for a master? This was kind of like an ideal option for me. It's kind of like a consultancy with a twist, so to say, since you also have the possibility to integrate at your client. At first, I always thought that consultancy was like going from project to project. So you would do like a project for 6 months there, then go to another client, do a project there. But this was kind of like a twist for me. And yeah, I really liked the model. So that's why I went on board with Exellys. Or well, I first had to do a bit more of a procedure, of course, which brings me to my application at Exellys. I kind of did the remainder of the procedure on Erasmus. So the first chat I had, or the first talk, was still in Belgium. And then I went to Austria for my Erasmus. I did everything online there when it was still cool and not necessary. And of course, first of all, we had to do a quick test, which was a test about your reasoning, your learning abilities. And after that, I also had a talk with one of the talent development managers at Exellys. And yeah, we had like a fun talk about a lot of different stuff. And yeah, after that, I was a part of Exellys as well. I was a real Excellist. And that also brings me to the matching procedure. So what is the matching procedure? Real short, it's a procedure that matches you with a certain client based on your own preferences. And they give you a few opportunities where you can go to. I actually put a few opportunities I got for myself here. I still found them back in an old mail as well, just to give you a bit more information. And of course, they were based on my preferences. So for example, I wanted something in Antwerp, or the region Antwerp. So you can see that the opportunities were mostly based in Antwerp as well. So when I returned to Belgium for my Erasmus, I had further opportunities given to me. And I did an application at Balois, which is also a part of the slide here. I also did a bit of preparation, of course, for that application. Got another mail from Exellys giving me some test questions I could prepare. So the dress code, of course. And after that, I also did a second application at Ferranti and a third application at Atlas Copco. Of course, as was already spoiled at the beginning, I chose for Ferranti in the end. So Exellys set up everything after I did the application at Ferranti. So everything for the first day. I also got assigned a talent development manager at Exellys, which goes over your feedback, etc. And I also got assigned a class in Exellys to really put the study back into it as well. And then I also got a mail from Ferranti with some information about my first day, of course. And yeah, then the integration at Ferranti. Here you can see Ferranti in all of its glory. My first day at Ferranti was really cool. Was just mostly getting to know everyone, of course. Yeah, just a big roundabout in the Ferranti office. And then I also had 2 weeks of training from Ferranti itself. So that one was not from Exellys. And also I had the expectations meeting at Ferranti, which I did find really cool. The expectations meeting is kind of like Exellys Ferranti sitting together and yeah, really aligning what is expected from you as the consultant. And that's really cool for you as well to know like what is expected from you, from both sides, of course. My feelings about the integration are really good, of course. I'm still really happy at my client and the first days were really fun as well. I had great colleagues. They showed me around and everything, so that was all great. My tasks at Ferranti may be a bit more in depth. Right now, I'm part of the product support team. So the product support team is like a lot of different projects where bugs are logged and we fix those bugs. We introduce new functionalities. Yeah, we do really a lot of varied stuff over a lot of different projects as well. So that really boosted my knowledge in a lot of different fields at the same time, which I also really liked in that sense. And it also made me evolve. Well, the evolution of my task was also really big. So I went from like just fixing a few small bugs like labels, little UI things to like things in SQL in the databases, things more in backend as well. So yeah, it's a really varied job, which I really like personally for myself. But of course, I'm starting to ramble on about Ferranti, but this is still a talk about Exellys. So what is Exellys' part in all of this? Well, Exellys' role is, of course, the Start Smart program that you would be a part of in that case. It gives you a lot of different trainings where you can choose from. A few of them are assigned to you. So those are done in like a group track. And some of them are also individual, which you can choose from a big catalog of trainings. One of a few that I chose were the assertiveness training and the customer focus training. In my job, that's of course very handy to have. I'm talking a lot to different customers, different colleagues. So it's very nice to have that opportunity to get those trainings as well. And I also had like a certification in Microsoft Dynamics, which is a part of what we use at Ferranti as well. Other than that, we also have a lot of feedback and coaching sessions from Exellys, which I really like. It really gives me the opportunity to grow and to really know what I can still improve on. So that's awesome. I'm glad that I had all those feedback sessions. Then once a year, at least that's how I had it. We had like a 360 feedback review as well. It was just a bit of a bigger one, giving you some more questions as well. Like, can you fill in some questions about yourself? What do you think? Well, how do you think you're doing at that point in time? And yeah, of course, Exellys is also organizing a lot of different events that you can take part in. So that's always a nice thing to have as well. There's also the buddy system. I think that's a really cool system too. We also have that at Ferranti. So I'm actually buddy of more people than just one of them. Yeah, the buddy system is just a a system that helps, that assigns a buddy to you so that you can get some more information when you need it from that buddy. Really nice to have. I mean, just a little extra thing. And of course, Exellys is always happy to help with any question you have at any point in time. That's mostly, of course, your coach, your TDM or talent development manager, as I said before. So yeah, that's a little bit of that. And then the epilogue, of course, my thoughts in the future. Right now, I'm very happy that I chose for Exellys. It really was like the ideal way for me to go. I still had a lot of thoughts about what I wanted to do, so this was really great to have. And yeah, great that they gave me some opportunities which are based on my own preferences, and that I could really choose the one that fit the best to me, at least. My career right now, I'm really happy about it. A lot of variation in my job, of course, a lot of room to grow as well. I already have a lot of responsibilities on my job, so that's awesome. I have a lot of trust from my colleagues as well as the customers, so that's always nice to see as well. And yeah, other than that, for the future, I'm hoping to do this for a little while more, at least in product support, and maybe later on grow a bit more to other projects within Ferranti. I'm already, well, I have already decided to integrate at the customer. So I'm going to be a part of Ferranti after my start smart track at Exellys. And yeah, well, maybe a final note. Thank you all for your attention, and I want to wish you good luck in your future career as well. So thank you. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them.